Record, and we're beginning. All right, we're off to a great start. Okay, you guys, so we are going to jump right into this tonight. So let's start off with who has some recognition. Just unmute yourself and go ahead and share it with the group. Well, I gave Ashlyn recognition for rank advancement last week. I'm going to give her recognition again tonight because number one, she's communicating with me and letting me know what the heck she's doing. You guys, she went on her stories and talked for the first time on Friday, right, Ashlyn? Wasn't it Friday? Yes. And that's a big deal, you guys. She is in the Diamond, the 60-day Push to Diamond group in Dare to Dream, like I know a lot of you guys are. And even choosing to say yes to be in that group was a big commitment. And the very first assignment was to make a 2-minute video, and she freaking did it. She did it. And then she had to go lay down in her bed and not hyperventilate after she did it. But the thing is, she's doing the things that are putting her out of her comfort zone. And that to me is better than any Success Club point or any rank advancement. So Ashlyn, you the bomb. All right, anybody else? Well, you guys are just going to make me talk all night. This out of breath mama, this should be interesting. All right, last call. We're just going to jump right into it then. Okay, so tonight's call. So here's kind of my theme. Can you guys hear me okay and everything? Okay. Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish you guys were unmuted because I really get a little tired of like just talking to myself all the time. Here we go though. Okay, so tonight's call is not about any particular training method. Like I said, I think I've said this before, or I've just thought it in my head. But for the first part of this year, I really want us to focus on us and ourselves and our mindset, because from our inward growth is how we get external results. So tonight, we're going to be talking about confidence. Yes, we could all use a little more confidence in our lives, you guys. This is the one thing. So we are going to start out by talking about high performers. Who wants to be a high performer? Yes, everybody wants to be a high performer. I cannot see all of you, so you all raise your hands. Okay, so high performers, they have a consistent emotional state. Consistent means even when you're on your period, girls, okay? Just the way it is. Even when you're preggers, you still have to have a high emotional state of being engaged. Write this down. I don't have a PowerPoint. Being engaged, being joyful. Yup. And the last one, which is the most important one, and this is all like statistics. High performers, it's been polled, lots of studies. The number one thing is confidence. Nothing correlates with high performance scores across the board more than confidence. Confidence is the secret ingredient that makes you rise to the challenge that is coaching. It's just the way it is. So we all need a little bit more confidence. Okay. I have my notes on my computer, so I'm going to be like switching back and forth here. So just be patient. Okay. I'm going to make you guys bigger for a minute. We're going to go into the chat. So open up your little chat. This is an interactive call tonight. Okay. So let's say that it is Summit. Summit is in July. Okay. And they have speakers at Summit, right? I've never been, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Big speakers. And they speak to like thousands of people. Okay. Let's say you crush it the first 2 quarters of the year, and they call you up to go speak on stage at Summit. Just seriously, just pause for a moment and think about that. They're like, dang, Megan V, dang, Megan H, you are crushing it. You are bringing in so many people, and your retention rate is insane. Everyone is staying on Shakeology with you. Everyone is like losing 500 pounds. Like with you. What are you doing, right? So they ask you to speak at Summit. So let's say that it is like a few hours before you have to go up and speak on stage, and I'm with you hanging out at Summit. I don't know what we do at Summit because I've never been, but we're hanging out. And so drop it in the chat What is going through your mind right now? And you better be honest. Like if you don't say you're nervous right now, that's going to just ruin the whole point of this analogy. How are you feeling right now? You might oak. Okay. I know you meant puke. I'm just teasing you, Rochelle. Holy shit, I can't do this. Puke. I'm probably puking. Yeah, that's what I would say too. I'm going to pass out. Okay. Why are you telling yourself that story? Like, because I would be telling myself that too. So this is when I would tell you, why are you telling yourself that story? Because we all do it. I do it before every team call. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I don't know why. I can do this. I have something to say. You're not confident enough, right? Okay. That question of you playing out in your head, oh, I can't do this. I don't have anything to offer. Those kinds of things are going through your mind, right? Like, I'm going to blow it. Why did they ask me? I don't have anything to say. Like maybe a little bit like imposter syndrome. So that, like, asking ourselves that question first thing in that type of situation, does that question serve you? Like asking yourself, remember we talked about on another call, notice the questions that you're asking yourself, because questions are important because your brain's going to seek an answer for them, right? So do those questions serve you? Yes or no? Okay, so here's the thing. In this situation, that is when, maybe this analogy is not really working. I don't know. We're just going to go with it. In this situation, this is when I would remind you of the fact that they asked you to speak on stage because you're killing it. I hope that you guys know, I expect every single one of you to have this be a real scenario in your life. If you tell me that you're going for diamond, if you tell me that you are actually wanting to work this business, you will be on stage at some point if you're on this team. So just get this like image in your head for real, guys, okay? And that's when I would remind you, hey, they asked you to do this talk. I asked you, maybe if it's even just speaking on a team call, like I asked you to talk on our team call because you are a leader, because you have things to value, like you have value to add, right? The thing is, you guys, it's all about being congruent. Like we know our story and we know that our story is powerful and it has value, but we don't believe it in ourselves. Someone said, we don't have the confidence, and therefore our lives are not congruent. Every day we have to wake up and ask ourselves, what is my story? What is the value that I'm going to add? And we have to ask good questions, not be so afraid that we're going to fail, but we have to act like the champions that we are. You need to be acting right now like the elite coach that you freaking are. That means you need to be showing up on these team calls, which you guys already are, like you have 500 of your personally sponsored coaches on this call with you tonight. I mean, it's kind of not ruining. Well, if you're listening to the recording, you should be on this call, yo. You should be here. You should be making this a priority. Okay, because you have to be congruent with who you are. All right. They are able who think they are able. So let's begin. Confidence. All right. A confident high performer says this to themselves every single day. I'm confident that I can achieve my goals despite challenges or resistance. So many times we go into a new month thinking, oh my gosh, like this is going on in my life. Like I just did this. Last year, every single month of the year, I was like, whoa, this year, this is not last year, when I was pregnant before. Like my goal this time is to not let, like my personal battle is to not let my pregnancy derail me. I'm going to hit higher numbers this pregnancy because I know that in the past I've shrunk away from that and I've chosen to not be a high performer in my situation that I find myself. So whatever your situation is, ask yourself, are you waking up and telling yourself, I'm confident that I can achieve my goals despite challenges or resistance? Guess what? Snow day had nothing on this mama. I got all my work done. And yeah, it was freaking scary. Like it was really scary. You guys know how it was with your kids home those days. If you live in right? It wasn't always pretty, but I knew from the beginning that day began, I was like, I will get my work done today. I'm confident that I can achieve my goals despite challenges or resistance or snow days. So really ask yourself, like, is that your mentality with your business and with your life right now? The more confident you are, the less likely you are to feel burnout from work. Because when you are more confident, you're willing to say no, and you're more sure of what to focus on, which makes you more efficient and less prone to distraction. That is the truth. If you are feeling burnt out, I really would ask you to like look and be like, are you confident? Do you know where to put your energy in your business? Do you know how to actually work your business in 1 hour a day to get results? Or are you too busy dinking around trying to figure out what to post because you feel like, oh, no one cares about what I'm going to say. So it takes you 30 minutes to write a post instead of being like, everything I write is gold. Everyone should want to read my post. It's not arrogance. It's confidence. It's knowing that you have something to say. And if you have that confidence, you're going to not have to like check yourself with everything that you do, with every story that you post, with every image that you shoot up on social media. Confidence alone, this is an important point, doesn't cause high performance. You can have all the self-confidence in the world, but without high-performing habits, long-term success is not going to happen. You need to have confidence and high-performance habits, okay? So they go hand in hand. Okay. All right. There's 3 C's of confidence. High performers simply think about things that give them more confidence than other people. They do things that give them more confidence than others, and they avoid things that drain confidence more than others do. It is so simple. It's such a basic concept. They think about things. Guess what that means? That means that they do their personal development. That means that they do their affirmations. That means every dang day you are writing down your goals and you are envisioning where you want to be come March when first quarter is done. For those, I get super out of breath, you guys. For those of you who are in the Diamond Push thread, if you're not writing down, today is March, however many days are in March 31st or whatever, 30th. I don't know how many days are in March. I am a diamond coach. Like what that you should be writing that down. How many of you guys write that down every single day? The first sentence I write down every single day is, I am 18 weeks pregnant and I am showing kindness to all. Do you know why? Because that's my number one goal, is to survive until March, showing kindness to all. I kid you not. That is the first sentence that I write down in my business goals. And then I go into everything else because I need to work on my kindness. Or that's like my number one focus. Okay, that's a whole other thing. Okay, confidence comes from purposeful action, thinking and action. Okay, so you're going to think about things that other people are not going to think about, right? You're going to do things that will give you more confidence. That means you're going to show up in your workout. No excuses. Do you know how hard it is to be a good coach when you cannot work out or you're just choosing not to work out? Like, think about a time when you had an injury or something that kept you from doing your workout. Like, how many of you guys have ever had that? If you haven't yet, you'll go through a season where you're not going to be able to do your workout. It is hard to like show up. It is hard to be motivating. That 6 weeks after you have a baby when you can't, I'm already like mentally preparing it, because the way that you are wired, like as a human being, your heart wants congruence. So if you say one thing, but you're doing another, you are not going to have the confidence, because you know, you feel like a fake and it bleeds through into everything you do. So you better be doing the things that confident people do. And yeah, if you're not able to work out for whatever reason, then you have to tap into what you can do. Maybe you need to be on point with your nutrition. You have to do something that's going to give you that confidence. So you think about things that give you confidence, you do things that like give you confidence, and you avoid the things that drain confidence. That means you need to be aware of who you're talking to. Be aware of your circle of influence. Do not hang around all the time whiny coaches. Do not. You don't have to read every message that comes to your phone. I don't know if you guys realize that. You don't have to read it. You can just wait and respond to that later. Like, and that doesn't include just coaches, like even just your family, your friends, like you can choose how much you're influenced by them. Okay. All right. So number 1 C of confidence is to, and these are important. High performers practice these 3 things. Practice number 1, develop competence. The more knowledge, skill, ability, or talent that is competence that you have at a given task, the more likely you are to be confident and perform well. That means if you're not comfortable talking about the coaching opportunity, get comfortable with it. Go research, like we've talked about before, go research that compensation plan until you know it, until you feel confident that you're able to explain to someone that. If you feel like, are we actually a pyramid scheme? Go research what that is and why we're not one, right? Whatever it is that you're not competent in, figure it out. Everything is figure outable, and it's your job as the CEO of your business to figure it out. It's nobody else's job to do a training about it, to cover it on a team call. It is your job to figure it out. It is the confidence competence loop. So when you are inviting someone, the more that you do it, the more confident that you get. The more consistent you are, the more confident you get, and the better you are at doing it, which is your competence, right? So confidence, competence, it's just this loop that just happens where pretty soon, where when you first started coaching, you can't even send out an invite without asking your coach first if it sounds okay. Pretty soon, you're going to be like nursing a baby, yelling at your other kid, cooking dinner, and typing with one hand an invite to join coaching with like no hesitation. You're just sending that crap out, right? Seriously, that's what your goal is. Your goal is to get to the point where you don't have to like, you're just confident. You know exactly what this business has done for you and you're not afraid to share it. All right. Everyone take a deep breath. Fill your lungs. It's only uphill from here, you guys. High performers are learners. Wait, no, that's not what I was going to talk about. Number one. Okay. Confidence is not a fixed personality trait. It's a muscle you build through exertion. So a lot of times, you know, we feel like, oh, I'm not as confident as that coach over there. I'm not as outgoing, or I'm not as good of a leader. Leadership, confidence, all the things that are producing external results are internal things that you have to develop in yourself. You're gonna have to become more confident. Nobody can make you more confident. Someday I will find the invites that I sent out when I first started coaching. Like everybody starts at zero. Everybody starts with not any skill and not confidence, but you have to develop it in yourself. And a lot of that comes from personal development. Okay, high performers are learners, and their belief that they can learn what is necessary to win in the future gives them as much confidence as their current skill sets. So that means, let me give a good example. Okay, bod groups. Who knows what they are? Nobody. Like really, I haven't heard much about them, but they're coming in March, right? I think March. Is that right, guys? Okay. For a minute there, I thought you were frozen. You all are so serious. I can only see a few of you. Okay. I have no idea what it is, but I told Derek the other night, I was like, bod groups are going to change the game. He's like, really? I was like, oh yeah. Like I'm going to probably double the amount of coaches and customers that I sign. And like when it happens in March, he's like, what is it? I was like, I have no idea. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. But all I know is that I'm going to go into this knowing 100% that whatever it is, I'm going to have the skills to adapt quickly and efficiently, and that it's going to blow up my business. I am not going to go into this feeling overwhelmed, like I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, it's change. Is it going to have like kinks, and then are my customers going to get mad? Like, no. It's going to be amazing. And I have the confidence to know that the skills that got me this far are going to carry me through to the next stage. There is nothing that Beachbody could throw at me that I won't handle like a boss. Seriously. You have to have that kind of confidence going into every future issue. And that means the same for life issues. Like you need to know that no matter what happens next week or tomorrow, it's not going to affect your business, except for making you a better coach, a stronger coach, because it's going to make you better inside, and that is going to reflect in your business. All right, next, reflect on each week so you feel the wins and you integrate the wins into your identity. So many times we look back and we're like, okay, I didn't invite this day. I only invited this many. I let this happen. Instead of being like, what wins did I have this week? Like, what? So you didn't sign anybody up today. Did you have a good conversation? Did you encourage someone? Did you show up in our challenge group and add some value? There's always some type of win that you can have every single day. And if you reflect on that and take it into yourself and let it become a part of your identity, you will become more confident each day. So you're not going to be discouraged when you get a week of no one signing up and you're doing all the things, because you're going to have integrated, you know what, maybe I didn't, but this is what I did do good. This is the value that I did add. I think that's really important, because I think sometimes it's really easy to like beat ourselves up for not having the results maybe that we see somebody else have, you know? And I think that if we start letting whispers get in our head that we're not where we should be, guess what? You're exactly where you should be, by the way. Like, your business is where it's at because of you, right? So just take the wins and let that become your identity so that you are encouraged and empowered to make the next step. You're not feeling discouraged or coming from a place of lack or poverty or insecurity. Okay. Practice number 2 of a high performer who is confident: be congruent. High performers approach to life at some point, at some major moment in your life or in your coaching business, you're going to need to decide to take control. You're going to need to define who you want to be, and you're going to start living in accordance with that self-image. So for me, I don't know, I would have to say in the past few months, I feel like there's seasons of this where all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, this area right here, that changes. And it's not in those times when you're like, I'm going to start showing up more for my business, and then you don't. It's like something deep inside of you clicks where you're like, that is no longer who I am. This is who I am now. For me, it was when our team didn't hit Premier this last year after 2 years of hitting it. That is a reflection on my leadership. And I still remember thinking, where all of a sudden clicked in my head, if we didn't hit Premier, that means that all my coaches who say they want to be Diamond, I didn't have 2 of them hit Diamond in their business in 12 months. That is 100% unacceptable for me, because that means that I am not showing up for my business the way I should as a leader. Something clicked right around like October or November, and I'm not going back to the Sue that I used to be. It doesn't matter what 2020 brings. We will be an elite team because I know there's at least 5 coaches on this team who want to be Diamond, and I'm going to be here to help them because I know I see that possibility. There has to be that moment for you where you realize, what? Like, not just like, maybe I'm going to make a change, like a New Year's resolution or something, but like something clicks and you need your outside reality to reflect the inside. It's no longer okay for you to not have congruence in your life. Does that kind of make sense? Maybe you've already had that moment. Maybe you need that moment. Maybe you need to make that happen in your life. All right. High performers shape their identity by conscious will and have aligned their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors to support that identity. I'm going to be 100% completely honest with you. I took a nap this afternoon and I did not want to come on this team call. In fact, I even thought in my head, is there a way that I can cancel it? Because I'm really tired and I'm really nauseous today. And Minka asked me, Mama, can you please just cancel the call and just sit on the couch? You guys, I went through I was like, there's enough trainings out there. They don't need to be on the call. There's only going to be like 20 girls. It's not a big deal. They can do a power hour instead of listening to me, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I thought, no, that is not matching who I said I am this year. I show up for 20 people the same that I do for 50,000. You guys, you have to have congruence in your life. You have to show up and post on social media. Not like, are they going to like what I say? But there are 50 people out there who are where I was a year ago or before Beachbody or whatever. And if I don't post today, they're not going to hear the truth that I have to say. Can you imagine if you lived with that kind of congruence? Where it didn't matter what was happening. Like, you show up as if like you're already that person. There is power in there. But in order for that to happen, you have to know who you are. You have to know, like, you might not be there yet, but you have to know who you want to become. You have to know what those goals are. You need to be writing them down, like I said, every stinking day, because you need to train it up here and you need to get it in your heart. If you don't have clarity about who you are, you're not going to have congruence because you don't even know what you're aiming for. And if you don't have congruence, do you have confidence? No, because congruence is the second C of confidence, right? Second? Yes, it is the second. All right, next, about congruence: stand in truth, tell the truth, and you'll feel congruent. That means if you're a coach, you better be freaking either sticking to a meal plan or working out. Otherwise, you're not being congruent, right? That doesn't feel good. Nobody likes to be doing that. Confidence comes from being truthful with yourself and with others. All right. Practice number 3, enjoy connecting. And for me, like, I think I actually slipped up and said this like a month or two ago in one of the threads. And as soon as I said it, I was like, dang it, I wasn't going to say that anymore. Because for me, I used to struggle with the connecting part. I didn't like those 20 new conversations that I set to have every day. And now new Sue has decided it's the best part. And I don't say that I'm not good at it anymore, because why would I tell myself that story? Is that thought serving me? Does it ever serve us when we're like, I'm not very good about inviting to the coaching opportunity? No, I'm not very good at connecting. Why? Why would you say that? It literally does nothing except complain and like not bring you to the next level of your business. Like, we need to seriously stop bashing ourselves and saying we're not good at stuff. Who agrees with me on that? Yes. Okay. I feel like you guys are tired a little bit tonight too. We gotta raise the energy. All right. Enjoy connecting. It's not personality that's giving an edge. High performance people have learned the tremendous value in relating to others. This is what matters. Do you want to learn from others? Will you take the time to do it? Will you genuinely try to engage someone and learn about how they think, what they need, and what they stand for? High performers' confidence comes from the mindset that says, I know that I will do well with others because I will be genuinely interested in them, because I want to learn. Non-high performance learners, or perhaps the months when we are frantically trying to hit Success Club and we're not in the mood to truly connect, that mentality says, I know that I'll do well with others because I'll make them genuinely interested in me, in my product, because I want to teach them who I am. They're not, high performers don't always think about their elevator pitch or how I can get this person to sign up or what they can tell everyone as much as what they might learn or how they can serve. This is a service business, right? It's an invitation and you are a servant. You're not a salesperson. Confidence comes less from projection than from connection. I'm just going to let that one sit because I think that's a heart issue. So I can preach about connecting and having the right heart when we're having these conversations, but it really comes down to like each of us individually, you know? And some days it's harder than others, but we can always choose to put people first in our business no matter what our SC points are or what day of the month it is, right? Okay. Conclusion. Start conditioning the internal dialogue that says, I know what to do and how to add value here. I believe in my ability to figure things out. I'm willing to go for it. I know that I'm in alignment with the person I want to become. And I know I'll do well with others because I'm genuinely interested in learning about them and serving them. Down, make it so I can see you guys bigger. Okay, are you guys still with me? Okay, is this making sense? Now I can like see your faces. I think it's a really tricky thing. I had a couple other things I was going to say. Just give me 1 minute with this pregnant brain. Oh, I know what I was thinking. We did an exercise with Josh Coates this week, and he was saying, and I think it's a good challenge to think. It's funny because I wanted to talk about confidence, and then in one of our trainings this week, he talked a lot about confidence, but he talked about more like he kind of describes it as arrogant as a rock star. I personally don't like that phrase, but that's fine. For me, I like the word confidence more than arrogant as a rock star. But you do what you do you. But he said to think of somebody that you like, everything they do, you're like, dang, they're on fire. Like, they give you energy just when you read their posts. So think of that person. It doesn't have to be someone on social media. It can be anybody. For me, like, I have that coach in my head who I love to watch. I love her. And so this is who I think of. So think of, before you make that post, like every single morning, what would happen if you acted as if you were that person? If you literally like owned that energy, how would you post? How would you invite? How would you talk on your stories, right? I think that's a really powerful exercise for you guys to do if you are struggling in the confidence area, to just really do that. And the other thing is, like, you have to act as if you're already there. If you're not going to start acting like a leader on our team, you will never be a leader on our team. You have to start preparing now for like that destiny and that calling, that thing that if you know that you're going to be like a top coach and you're going to have who wants to have a massive impact on women or whatever? Who actually has like a vision for this business besides just the income, right? Okay, at what point are you going to start acting like the person that can make that a reality? Because if you're waiting until you have all of those like personally sponsored coaches to start acting like a leader and volunteer for team calls and those types of things, if you think you're waiting, like it's never actually going to happen. Because by the time, if it does come, it'll be too late. We've talked about this before on team calls, right? Like if you're not the leader you need to be, that coach who messaged you about the business or who you kind of invited, but then you weren't confident, and so they didn't sign up and they went and signed up with that other person, or they just missed out on the coaching opportunity altogether. Like it was too late for you to prepare. Like you have to be ready. It starts now. Does that make sense? Okay. What do you guys have to say about confidence? What are you struggling with it?
Not word vomiting the confidence and like not cussing. I think that's my biggest thing.
Not cussing?
When I get passionate, cussing. No, I don't cuss at my girls like in a negative way, but like, you know, I have a mouth.
Then you're going to attract people with a mouth. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I personally am working on my swearing in 2020 as well, but it's only because my dad and mom don't like it.
I'm trying to keep it down. That's really all it is. It's like, it's that Puerto Rican in me that just, I need to find that balance of like too much, like just keeping it out of balance.
What else? I'm struggling with maintaining relationships by checking in organically. Yeah, absolutely. It is hard. It is tricky to know how to like keep relationships going, especially like when you're following up, you're trying to connect. I know for me, I know you guys have access to that meal plan, but that's one of my favorite ways now to follow up with people is to send them the meal plan or send them something of value, add them to our free community, tell them about it. There should always be something that you have to give because this is a service business. So even if you have to go on Pinterest and find something and just be like, here, like whatever, there should always be something of value that you can add to people.
I had a random question. The coach open house, that is done monthly through Dare to Dream and Team New Life, correct?
Yeah.
And that's 3 days in a week, correct?
Yeah. And we, Megan and I and Jamie, we have a Facebook group that we are going to, what is it called, Megan? What is it called, Megan?
Coffee, Coaching, and Cocktails.
We have something, guys, and we need to start doing it. Coffee, Coaching, and Cocktails. So we've got an album in there. What do we have in there, Megan? What are the two albums?
So we were kind of trying to make it as easy as possible and just to be able to add people in whenever, without having to wait for somebody to pop on and go live to share information or whatever. So basically, I set up units based off of Morgan's Team New Life sneak peek. So it's like the exact same information, and every picture post that she has is a unit. And we just Sue and I have been talking about creating like a welcome video that just explains like, hey, thanks so much for checking out our team, blah, blah, blah. Check out the units, go through it at your own pace type of thing. And then somebody pops on live just whenever, every single week to share about maybe one unit each week. So it's not like telling about the whole coaching opportunity, but maybe like one day you're popping on and talking about like the trips that you can earn or whatever else the posts are. I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, so we do have that happening. We just need to talk about it more as a team and be more consistent about it as a team, like go live. So we'll be kicking that off this week. Someone will go live in there, if not next week. So get in that group if you're not already there. I think it's going to be really cool, you guys. It's going to be basically a hub. You can just put your people, so you don't have to wait for a certain time. It'll just be there. You can just put them in there and tag them in the most recent live video. I think it'll be really a nice tool. Naomi, about I'll read it out loud because the recording won't have the chat. Okay, I feel like I know all these things and I know I can crush it, but I'm afraid of the time it'll end up taking. Why? I don't know. I would have to say this was my thing too. I'm very much like instant gratification. And so for me, at least, like I don't like to know that things are going to take a long time, but I will say, like, you always have a choice. Like every day either brings you closer to your goal or it's another day that it didn't happen. Right. Is that kind of what you mean? Like just how long it'll take to hit your goals?
No, like how much as I get better, how much more time it will take than the beginning. You know, like if I do like my hour a day and that's all I'm committing to, that's what I want to do. But then it's more, do you know what I mean? Like then it's like, oh shoot, I have to do this. Because like as you get successful, it takes more work, right? And I think there's part of me that's like, that's going to be too much. I don't want that. Do you know what I mean? Which is super like, and I feel like a huge dork for saying that and like a huge a-hole for being like, oh, it's going to be too much work and I'm going to be too successful. But I think that's what I feel inside. And I guess I don't want it bad enough yet. And I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think it's really great that you do that because a lot of people want the status or the results or the income of someone who has a massive team, but they're not even willing to show up for that hour. And so I feel like that's like a whole nother issue, right? So at least you're willing to say, I don't know if I want to put in that much work. And I think that is totally a good place to be because now take it one day at a time. So say, how much am I willing to commit now? And then see how much success that gets you, right? And if you're like, you know what? I can work more. I'm willing to make that sacrifice for a bigger whatever, right? So then just add 30 minutes, you know? So start with an hour a day, 5 days a week with income producing activities. Where would that get me? Now, am I willing to add anything more on? You know what I mean? So instead of worrying about how much you can give, take it like week by week and be like, okay, now what's the next level? Do I want that or do I not? And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, I'm really great with $1,000 a month working an hour a day. I'm fine with that being my business, you know? I think that's a really good, that's like a lot of self-awareness. So good job because it's true, right? Like me tonight, even pondering the idea of not showing up for the team call, well, then I better stop saying that I want to be an elite coach because it's saying that I want the results, but I'm not willing to put in the work. Like, no, I need to have congruence and I need to have that match. So you're like right there, in my opinion. Okay, you guys, I'm going to hit end record